Hey everyone. A few days ago, I released a video about my concerns for Classic TBC, and in that video, I mentioned that we might be getting some news regarding TBC in the next few days, according to a tweet from Nano. Well, fast forward to yesterday morning, and Nano tweets this. The TBC news is coming, folks. Hold on to your butts, make sure you're following all your favorite Classic streamers, and stay safe out there. Well, without surprise, a few hours later, Staysafe drops a bomb on the community, announcing in his video that through a leak he received, Classic TBC will release in May. There should be an info bubble taking you to his video, and if that doesn't show for you, you will also find a link to it in the description below. I suggest you go watch it first. Today, I'm gonna give you a brief overview of what he said, discuss the evidence that we have to support this claim, and at the end, I will let you know why I believe we will more than likely be playing Classic TBC in May 4th as supported by this leak. By the way, I think this is common sense, but obviously, everything in here is unconfirmed territory. Nothing has been officially announced by Blizzard, and even if this info is true at the moment, it doesn't mean that Blizzard won't change their plans internally between now and May. So, of course, take this with a grain of salt. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So, before we talk about this most recent source that we got through Staysafe and decide whether it is tangible information or not, we must first rewind all the way back to March this year, when Blizzard hinted at a potential Classic TBC release through a survey they sent to a select pool of players. In that survey, they asked players whether Classic TBC is something that they would be interested in playing, among a few other things too, notably how players would like to see the game progress into TBC. Fast forward several months later, and we got Nano Nos tweeting this, saying that the TBC Beta will be in March 2021, and that TBC will launch somewhere in May at the same year. Then, a couple months later, and actually just over a week ago, Blizzard sent a second batch of surveys to select players, asking notably about the interest for fresh Classic Vanilla servers, and whether players would personally play on the fresh Vanilla servers more or on the TBC servers more, implying that the current Classic servers will probably progress into TBC, and that the only option to play Vanilla would be to make a new character on those fresh servers. And then, finally, today, we got this teaser from Nano. And then Staysafe releases his video, and finally Nano acknowledges this leak and confirms its authenticity, which I will discuss now. So this was just to get everyone up to date with past events and news regarding Classic TBC, to give you a better understanding of why this news, according to me, might actually be true. So in his video, Staysafe talks about this, which looks like a Discord message by the way. It says the following: TBC Beta, mid-February. TBC 2.0 pre-patch earmarked for April 13th/14th US/EU. TBC release date earmarked for May 4th global release, meaning May 3rd 6 PM US EST. Alright, let's start with the first bit. TBC Beta mid-February. This is probably the least surprising part about this leak. BlizzConline is coming in February, and that will probably be when we get our first official word about Classic TBC. And then, just like with almost every WoW expansion after an announcement, including the announcement of Classic WoW 2 years ago, the alpha/beta launches shortly, if not immediately after that. So this isn't very surprising here, but it is reassuring that the beta will not take forever to start like the alpha for Shadowlands did. As soon as TBC is announced on stage, you will likely get to see actual gameplay from streamers/content creators very shortly after. Next in that leak, TBC 2.0 pre-patch earmarked for April 13th/14th. This is probably the most interesting bit about this leak, because knowing when the expansion is releasing is cool and all, but knowing how the expansion is releasing is even more interesting. We brainstormed the possibilities of how TBC would release multiple times on this channel. Current servers progressing into TBC, new 1 to 70 servers, new 58 to 70 servers, etc. But this pretty much puts a nail in the coffin of this discussion if it's true. If we're getting a pre-patch for TBC, it obviously means that we'd have to use our level 60 characters to participate in the pre-patch. And if we have to do that, the pre-patch would have to be put on our current servers, meaning that our current classic servers, with all our level 60 characters and whatnot, are definitely progressing into TBC according to this leak. Now, I know many people are happy about this, but according to what I read in my YouTube comments, equally as many players wouldn't be happy about this at all. You see, many players either didn't play Classic Vanilla because they weren't interested in it, or because they were simply waiting for TBC to release, and they would really like to be put on an even playing field with the rest of the community when TBC releases. Well, I honestly think there's still a very solid option for you if you're in that category, other than the fact that I really believe that Blizzard is probably going to release a few brand new servers for Classic TBC. Even if they don't do that, those servers already exist. They're servers that have less players playing on them than Warcraft logs can count. And if you're looking for a fresh TBC experience, I'm sure that joining one of those servers along with everyone else that is looking for a fresh TBC server would be more than enough to have a solid community of players that weren't interested in vanilla but are looking for a fresh TBC experience. I would personally even be interested in making a character on one of those servers just to try it out. But as I said, I would be shocked if Blizzard didn't release new servers to cater to those players. And again, if they don't, there's an option for you. And finally, the big main news, TBC release date earmarked for May 4th global release. This is the information that pretty much proves to me that this leak is legit. Because as I said at the start, back in September this year, Nano tweeted about the same date for a potential release of TBC. And then, today, after Staysafe releases his video, Nano is asked by someone if we're getting something more official from Blizzard. Nano replies by saying that that's still coming and that Staysafe got the same info that he got, and that adds a lot of veracity to the information. So there you have it. May 4th is the current plan in Blizzard's offices about the release of Classic TBC. I would guess that we got this release date leaked so early because of the COVID situation and the fact that BlizzCon had to be pushed literally 3 months later. They probably had to communicate this information, and that's how we got this leak. But that's just me speculating at this point. Again, even if this is true currently, it doesn't mean that the expansion won't be pushed for one reason or the other, since nothing has been officially announced yet, even if that's very unlikely to happen. So take this with a grain of salt. Now, this leak answers some very interesting questions for us, but there's still a lot that remains. 5 days ago, I released a video about 6 concerns that we have for Classic TBC. Go check it out if you're interested. And there will probably be a part 2 for that coming, because I barely scratched the surface on that subject. So if you don't want to miss that, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Classic TBC will be my focus on this channel for the foreseeable future, and I will do my best to post consistent, ever better content. So subscribe to not miss it. And again, if you haven't already, go ahead and check Staysafe's video. Link is in the description. As always, whatever you do, remember to have fun, take care of yourselves and your loved ones. Bye for now.